Great Tuesday, everyone. Welcome back to my channel. This is Miss Jaydee for another episode of our daily stock market insights. And in this video, as usual, I am going to discuss the most active stocks for the day, but I will be prioritizing the requests that you guys have shared in the comment section. Okay, so for those who are watching this for the very first time, I am Miss JD and I do review stocks in the Philippine market, US market, and sometimes cryptocurrency. So, like what the others did, feel free to drop a comment and let me know which stock you'd like me to review. So, first is Jan Bird. He mentioned that thanks, Miss JD, for this informative channel. Can you please check on MPI for long term investment? All right, so thanks for the comment. I'll prioritize that. SECB, is SECB going to delist? It's dropping and dropping nonstop. Well, let's check that out because I have not personally monitor the news and they know what's happening on the back end for SECB. So guys, if you know anything about the stock or any insight or scoop that you already know and I have not mentioned, feel free to share it here as well so we can learn from you. But Andre, I'll try my best to really uncover and do deep dive tonight for you. Fan also said thanks, you're welcome. GMA7 for Ichiro, Dito, and SCC for Idilma-san. And this one, what is this? Okay, it looks like this is a spam comment. Okay, and guys, by the way, for some reason, the past week, I've seen a lot of spam comments, and they even used my picture on it. So be extra careful. I do not communicate directly with anyone here for anything. So if some people are using my photo, please be careful. I am in no way going to contact you for anything. All right. So my only objective in YouTube is just to share insights through technical analysis, and I have nothing else. If I do have, then I will personally promote it here and talk about it here, not directly message you for that reason. Okay, so be extra careful. Okay, this is the only platform I'm communicating with you, and I just talk about stock market and graphs, nothing else. Now let's discuss and first talk about the index. And looks like we had a green today with some foreign selling, so I think it's not going to dramatically create a movement, big movement by tomorrow, even though we had a green candlestick today, because number one, volume is not there, and we had, the house is divided with the foreign selling happening. Okay, so for now, this is the channel that I am seeing. So in the short term, we are seeing an uptrend, right? And we're very close to the support level right here. So if it is going to continue, we're hoping for that to happen. Uh, I'm seeing a possibility for it to continue, but something to watch out for is the buildup of our volume. And with this type of movement in the past few days, there's not much volume as of yet. Therefore, you might see unsustained uh, improvement in performance. So, like this one, you had a green, then the next day you had a decline as well. So if we have a green and another green tomorrow, then chances are within the week we could be ending in red because of that volume. So what we want to see is as we go higher and higher, the volume is also going to build up on the positive side. It's going to also increase. But at this point, just follow this radar or this channel over here. That is the channel our index is respecting. All right, so the first stock I'd like to review is MPI, then that is for uh, Jan Bird. For long term, okay, overall long term perspective, MPI is, of course, one of the blue chip companies, one of the cheapest blue chip companies in the country. And overall, if you're going to zoom out on a, let's say, monthly chart, it's very, if I may say here, it's really close to just being sideways the entire time. Since 2007, there are some, fluctuations up and down, but it goes back to that range in the 3 4 peso level. It's just within that range. So if you want a stable movement, but a stable movement, not much fluctuation, not much volatility in the stock, this is the one for you. Okay, because this is really something that is for long term. So if you're into long term investing, I'd say MPI is really for you. But don't expect massive growth overnight, because really the performance of this stock is just static, like sideways for the longest time. And this one too also gives out dividends. So just try to compute that for year 2022. It's what, second, third quarter. It's just first half of the year, and this has already given out two sets of cash dividend. In the previous years, it has also released some dividend. So this is one of the companies that could um, you could be compensated just for holding onto it. So overall, now this time around for the chart, this is still okay. So that is the trend line. Slowly, it's recovering after this significant drop from 3.88. It went all the way down to 3.68, but it's already recovering. However, just know that there is an MA20 line where it stopped today. So let us see if this will continue to the upside. If it will, then the next resistance I see would be 388. If it is going to drop, so and you want to enter in this stock for long-term investing, just get in as near as you can in this trend line over here, because that is the support at the moment. Okay, the next stock is SECB. Okay, do you see the cloud over here? That's the volume, that's the average volume. And slowly, right, we're seeing increase in the volume. So chances are, comparing it in the previous months over here, people, investors are already seeing that this price level is already um, on the cheaper side. That's why more people are entering this period compared to the previous months. Um, I would have to say, let's first check the news. I have not so far heard any negative news about the company, unless you guys know something, right? But just for the technicals, a lot of the build up here in the volume means that investors are already getting in because it's already very cheap. Another thing to take note, and I would always mention this in my daily analysis, as the price goes down and your RSI is already moving up, that's already a sign of a bullish divergence. But just be extra careful, because sometimes bullish divergence can stay in an extended period of time. So if you feel, right, so do your research, because mainly the scope of my discussion is focused on technicals, but it's really important that you first do the fundamentals, because fundamentals will allow you to really understand the health of the business. It will allow you to decide whether this is the right company I'll be investing in. And the technicals will come next. It will only teach you when to enter it, right? So now that we know that this, for instance, is a good company to engage in, and you wanted to enter today, then I would have to say, yes, I think this is a good area to buy, right? Now, let us say you asked me that question and the price level of the stock was somewhere around here, then I would have to say, no, don't buy yet, because we're at the resistance area. So comparing it with today against the previous months, let's say in October, this period is a way better timing than the previous months. Okay, so let us try to zoom out a little bit just to reduce the noise. Notice this. We have reached this price level back in, at the height of the pandemic, back in March. So the market has given us a chance to enter once again at a discounted level, way back, almost the same price as how it fared back in March of 2020. So yes, look at it for long term, and this is a good area to start investing. And so far, I really, there's nothing to worry in SECB. Unless there's something, please correct me, guys, if there is something that I'm not aware of in terms of news about the company, because sometimes news or bad catalyst could really influence the movement of the chart. But so far, technical wise, we're at a support area. And this is already a good area to buy. Enter as near as you can at around 87, 67. The next stock is GMA7, one of the companies that do give out high dividend yield. But let us see if it's already a good price level. So I think this one too has given us a chance to enter at a lower price range. But I think let us see if this will still give us a chance to get this at a much cheaper level. Since we're already moving below the MA20 line, see that? Let's try to do a Fibonacci retracement tool first. Let's see if it will uh, retrace within the area. Hold on, not there. Just a minute. Okay, so I do Fibonacci. So I plot it from here, drag it all the way up to the highest point, so I know where the key levels are. So look at this. So the price area, so the Fibonacci tool will allow us to measure the possible areas where a stock could bounce. And at this point, looks like this will be respecting the 11.19 and 10.92 area as a possible area of bounce. So I think conservatively, there's a big chance that we could be bouncing somewhere at the 1097 and then recover, create a higher high. So at this point, if you're using Elliott wave, this could be the first wave, and then it retraces, and then the next, well, this is wave 1, 2, and then 3 going up. Normally is the longest line or longest wave in an Elliott wave. But I'm not going to talk about that because I want to focus our attention on the more simple technical analysis tool. So at this point, I have used a Fibonacci retracement. It simply allows you to measure the key levels or identify the key levels where a stock could potentially bounce. So at this point, possible bounce areas would be 11.19 or 10.92. Oops. Okay. And how did I do that? I plotted here. I identified the lowest point, just the body, and then drag it all the way up to identify the second point, also the body, and it will already show the numbers or the key levels to watch out for. Okay. Now, so that's for GMA7, and also this is a good stock to invest in long term. So let's try to use this as an example. Back in April, it has a cash dividend of 1.45. What is that? So that is around 10%. 1.45 over, let's say you entered at this price right now, 11.14. That is 13%. So if you're a long-term investor at this point, this is already at an area where I'm not going to be very particular if it's a little higher or a little lower. Let's say you really wanted to get in at the lowest point. I don't think it's really going to create that much impact unless the volume is so high, the amount you'll be investing is so huge. there you will notice the difference. But if the amount is not that big, then getting in at around 11.17 or getting in at 10.63, it's just a minimal effect to your portfolio. So I'd say if you are a long-term investor, grab the opportunity. The price has already dropped. This is a discounted level. The market has already given us a chance to enter at a lower level, and continuously year over year, GMA7 has given us a consistent dividend. So it's up to you if you want to enter in this stock. I'm not lobbying or promoting a particular stock here. I'm just looking at it in a mid to long term perspective because I am personally into that mindset as well. So this is a good area to start accumulating. If you are really going to haggle, then just leave a portion. Just in any case, the price drops even lower, then you can add some more. But at this point, you can already do test buy if you want, like 25% or 10% of your allocation. Basta you are already invested. You already have exposure in GMA7. So that's the goal. Next is Dito. Dito, you will really be tested. Your patience is really going to be tested here. So after a rally, it's now going back to very low levels. We were tested at one point when it reached the 1 peso level. So the bigger question is, are you willing to hold on to your position even if the price goes back to the 1 peso level? Personally, I was able to hold on to my position when it even dropped to the 1 peso level, and I was able to ride on to the rally to the upside, managed to get in and out multiple times. And now my average, I think here, my average here is already at the 7.5 level only because I was able to exit somewhere around the 14 and entered again somewhere around the 16. So that's the reason why it shoot up. My average shoot up because of that last transaction. But before, when it dropped to the 1 peso level, I was able to re-enter around the 3 peso level. So if you are holding Dito, the message there is, if you're holding Dito, look at it for long term, because I don't see it bouncing back to the 16, 15 peso level anytime soon. This is a stock that will take years. Will take years to experience and experience the payoff of your investment. So that's a conservative setting of expectation. All right. So we're still on a decline, and chances are we could be going and we could be testing previous levels in the past. Where could it be? Let's see. So this is where we are at right now from a constricted Bollinger Band. It's slowly opening on a weekly chart here, slowly opening, experiencing some form of breakdown in the price. Now let's identify the nearest support areas we have here. So nearest area is somewhere around 372 to 375 level. The reason for saying that is if you look to the left here, you had a resistance here and resistance right here. So it could be slightly higher or lower. So that's the next possible drop. And also, if you look at your RSI, price is moving downwards and your RSI is already starting to move higher. So let us see if the nearest support I have plotted will indeed be respected. 3.72. Okay, so that's on a weekly chart. This is where it is. There you go. So that could be a key area to monitor. So, oh, interesting. You have 6.2 million on foreign buying. One thing I've also observed here is once insider buying happens, that could be your cue. Once they start selling as well. That's something I have observed in detail for several years now. So if they start buying again, then that's your sign. Start buying again. Okay. Next is SCC. Wow, SCC. Previously, when the price hit this level, I said it's already expensive, but it apparently it did a breakout, and again, it's testing this all-time high, 52-week high, 37.25. Grabe, this stock unstoppable. I read somewhere in one of the posts in Instagrams, they mentioned that as the oil price gets as the oil price goes higher or gets increases in price, the mining sector, particularly coal mining, is also going to benefit from it. And this could be it, right? But I'm not a strong fundamentalist. Just trying to connect the dots here. So at this point, same thing. You're at the resistance area, but if that gets broken, it could again create new highs, create new levels for its all-time high. And I'm not sure. Let me see if it's already the all-time high. No, not yet. So it's just 52-week high. So there's a resistance right here. So let's move that a little higher. Yan, dyan. And then the next stop is over here. I'm using the monthly chart now. So people who use the longer time frame are most likely going to engage in this stock for long-term investing. Okay, so those are the key levels in uh, our resistance areas. Okay, but look at this. The steeper it gets as it goes higher and higher, the drop could also be steeper. Okay, so just be mindful of that. So in the faster time frame, now on a daily chart, just identify the key level. Okay, so we could be retracing, just minor retracements, and if you're into long term for the stock, those are your opportunities to enter. Okay, so yeah, that's for SCC. The next stock is yeah. Okay, I already reviewed all your requests this time around. Let's check out the other stocks that are um, that were actively traded for today. So now SMPH sitting at the resistance area. Okay, you had a red today, so be extra careful. We could be retracing once again, and we'll be touching the key levels here. So where could it drop? Let's see. Let's use Fibonacci retracement from the lowest point, drag it all the way up here. Okay, so it will most likely bounce somewhere at the 0.236 level, which is 38.14 to 37.27 or 36.5. So those are the key areas where it could potentially drop. So if you are already invested in it and you would like to add more, then those are the key points, key price levels to watch out for if you want to re-enter. Okay, so just hold on to your buying power, as I think you can still get this at a lower price. BDO sitting at the MA20 line, it might just stabilize here first. Wait for that big volume to spike up. That's your cue. But in the meantime, if you're already okay with the stock, you want to invest in BDO, this is already a good area. Because again, for mid to long term purposes, this is a good area to start buying. Okay, look at this. It dropped, but look at the volume. It's the people who have entered somewhere here are still holding on to their position. Only a small portion of those who invested have exited. Maybe those who exited might have entered somewhere at the 123 and are just locking in their gains, right? But for now, we're sitting at a possible support 127.81. Ali, okay, Ali is starting to trigger the upper band. Use this channel or support ascending support as your support area. So if it fluctuates and it touches or it goes near this line over here, that is your sign. You can enter. So I'm plotting possibly here, this If the market gives you a chance around 29.96, that will be your cue. Because if you look at it in a bigger picture, this has dropped significantly and it's just starting to recover, guys. Look at it in a weekly time frame. Last week has a very huge volume. So it's just starting to climb up, right? Look at that. So yeah, good time to start accumulating. Let's check out RASLAG. Oh my goodness. It's now lower than its open or IPO price. Let's see. I'm not saying this is a bad company because I even conducted a research on it, and the potential is so huge for this company. It's in the renewable energy sector. Prior to IPO, they already have RASLAG 1, 2, and 3, and the IPO is intended to build RASLAG 4 and 5. So what we needed to do here is just really on the technical side. Find out, wait for it to establish a support. And that's the time you could enter and you get the, a much better value for your investment. Yes, so 2 peso has been broken. Let's see if we can still get in at a much cheaper area. So that's the outlook there. But overall, promising business model, renewable energy. ACEN. ACEN is starting to trigger the upper Bollinger Band. It has dropped massively because at one point it has already reached the 13 peso level. A lot of our stocks, by the way, have dropped significantly and it's starting to recover. So I think overall this is a good time to start investing. If you are just starting your journey, don't feel bad that you're just starting now, because in fact you're just starting at the price level from way back. It's just like you've also entered from way back. So if the price level right now is from 2020, from the, let's say, March of 2020, nothing to be, nothing to regret, because the market has given you a chance to enter it at that price level, same as how it was faring back in 2020. So at this point, for ASEN, okay, in the short term, this is the channel it is following, and it is starting to trigger the upper band. So there's a big possibility that it'll continue to move even higher, and the next area of resistance to watch out for is this one. So if the market gives you a chance, it drops, challenges the support area, just get in as near as you can in the support level, because this is still a considerably cheap level at this point. Okay, also in the renewable energy sector owned by the Ayala. So far this has already given a dividend in the past. So if you want this is something you can also consider, right? So imagine this, it has dropped and starting to recover. If you are a mid to long term investor, this could look attractive for you. Okay, so far that's it, guys. Feel free to drop a comment. Let me know if you have additional requests so that in my video tomorrow I can prioritize your request. In the meantime, thank you for watching and bye bye.